Welcome to the scene, it's your host TTP. We're flying high in the crypto sky, you and me. From Bitcoin rush to Ethereum, we traded all the coins with the trading parity, making that joyful noise. We got bots, we got plots, charts on the big screen. 3 comments to Wick Hunter with a trading machine. Laughing all the way to the bank, it's a fun parade. With every trade we made, watch how we get paid. TTP's got the formula for Bitcoin like a spatula. In the crypto game with the vernacular spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light, trying to trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts, the RSI, liquidity at a glance, trends on the rise. We never leave it up to chance. All tradiganium tools of the champion breed. With AI and math, we're planting the money seed. Laugh with us, trade with us, ain't no looking back. You're with the parrot now, leading the pack. Alpha profits, snap plots with the crypto lord. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with a vernacular spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light. Join the trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts.
Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Today, every single thing I hear around Twitter, crypto space, social networks, is all about the Ethereum ETF, whether it's going to be an approval, a denial, or maybe a delay or something. Maybe they're going to ask for more amendments and then could start dragging. Who knows what's going to be the outcome? But what's guaranteed is that we're going to see massive volatility. The Bollinger Bands on the weekly, on the monthly is opening like an alligator, saying, well, the volatility is about to come here. Whether it's going to be to the upside or the downside, that's to be seen. There are many articles at the moment that are completely flipping into becoming extremely bullish with everything. Part of that is the influence of politics. The elections are kind of influencing some decisions around the crypto space. So in today's video, we're going to pay special attention into all the data that I have related to the ETF, not just news. You know, I'm a technical guy, so I'm going to show you as well technicals. I'm going to show you the order book of Ethereum. I'm going to show you where the people are putting their bets right now behind the scenes without knowing. And of course, we need to look into the market. We need to look into Bitcoin, what's going on, how Bitcoin is catching up with the momentum that's coming from Ethereum. At the end of the video, we're going to look into altcoins. I have prepared a special list of altcoins. That full list of altcoins is right now published on Twitter, right behind my last tweet in the thread. So you can have a look at that list, or if you have any requests for altcoins that you want me to do live TA, of course, you know what you need to do. You need to be commenting. The more you comment, the more you like in the YouTube video, the better for the channel. So thanks so much for that. And without further ado, let me get straight into the charts and the information. Cool. Let me know in the comments if everything is good, the sound, the picture, everything. I hope everything is okay. So let's get started with this one here. There are 7 experts that are giving their opinion on ETFs. I do not necessarily make any decisions on experts or corporate people, people that are investors, funds, and all of that, because their interest is not to help you. Their interest is to trick you. So I took this article and I gave it to ChatGPT. I'm becoming addicted to ChatGPT. You know, every single thing I find, I ask ChatGPT, make me a table, create ratings for this, create that. It's absolutely impressive. So from that article, I requested to create a table for me with the name of the expert and their opinion and whether they are positive or neutral. So I didn't even have to read the article. That's amazing. And you can see that who knows who these guys are. I think some names resonate, but not all of them. And we got positive, neutral, and positive. And then average opinion rating, it says overall sentiment leans positive, with the majority of experts forecasting a favorable impact on Ethereum prices and market acceptance following the potential approval of Ethereum ETFs. So here's the thing. Everybody's positive. A couple of days ago, everybody was negative. When everybody was negative, we were talking about the pivot on the Ethereum BTC pair, that could be our pivot for a flip into bullish. So we were expecting that. Now I'm going to show you all the other data. Let's see if we can also subscribe to this sentiment positive, because we don't do what the herd does. Okay, everybody's positive. Our job is to find why we should be thinking the opposite. Are they tricking us? Is this manipulation? Is this just a way for them to push the price higher so people buy and then they're going to dump on us? We'll see. We'll see. I'll give you every information that I have. I'm not saying I'm bearish. I'm just going to share everything I know. Let's start with the interest. The interest in Ethereum, usually I'm monitoring Bitcoin, but today I'm going to look into Ethereum. So Ethereum still hasn't done here a high. This could be still a low relative to March 9th. There's still lots of people coming into Ethereum just because they're talking about the Ethereum ETF. But that is good. That is attracting people, and that could be helping for that pivot to succeed. But the ultimate war comes from the SEC. And by the way, the SEC is on the way to getting removed from deciding things to do with crypto, which is great. But I don't necessarily know the timing of that. So maybe for the time being, they're still deciding whether to accept the ETF or not. So I think later they might get removed and they might not have any more word to say about crypto. For now, we need to still look into that. I'm also using Lunar Crash, that in the past used to be just for crypto, just for specific coins. Now in here, you can write down anything, even the elections, sports, everything. Everything turns into a rank, and you can see how things are evolving. It's kind of a magnifier glass, or actually the opposite. It generalizes all the social information into something that you can consume. For example, here I search for Ethereum spot ETFs, and a few days ago, this was very low in sentiment, into the red, and now we got to 100%, 199 and 192. So this continues to go higher and higher. That this doesn't guarantee that it's going to succeed the approval, but it gives us some view into the sentiment. And again, on Ethereum, on Lunar Crash, this was coming up, 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 and suddenly it got really quiet. So before the pump, the interactions were 1.4 million interactions. During the pump, our highest level of interaction went to 7.5 million. And I don't know why sometimes it does that. That thing on the chart, it kind of flips, and you have to refresh. But now the interactions on social networks are coming back to lower than before the pump. So from 1.5, we did a low of 200K. So it got really quiet here, and that I think is result of people not knowing anything new. So there's just expectations. Everybody already say what they had to say, and now all social is becoming a bit quiet on the expectation. Is it going to come out today or not? And I guess if we see any spike that goes into a higher high in terms of interactions here, we are probably hearing something relevant. Anything that is lower here, it means that there's still nothing new to come out. So I'm monitoring that in one of my monitors to see if anything comes out. And the interest in Ethereum in 1 year is still at the lowest, with 8 million versus all of this area here. And again, it keeps doing that. I think the guys from Lunar Crash need to fix that bug, but it keeps doing that flickering thing that makes the chart disappear. But yeah, it did a pump in terms of interactions to 131 million across 1 year. The highest was in, I think, in October here with the ETF approval of Bitcoin, and that's why it pumped there. And this pump relative to that is very small. So we might see more interactions in terms of poly market that is monitoring. You can bet on the outcome, and people this morning were at 65% chances, and now we're at 69. We're just printing kind of a Bart Simpson here. Is just going flat, not going anywhere. And a few days ago we were at 11%. So everybody was assuming it was going to get rejected. And the Nasdaq is filing updated 19B4 forms from for BlackRock. Remember, BlackRock has lost, I think, only one ETF approval got denied in the past. The BTC, we could say that influence as well the outcome, because they're so powerful, BlackRock, that they really can not just influence but actually tell the government. People speculate that they can tell the government what to do, and the ACC, like, they own literally everything. So if they are filing and updating these things, people expect that it's very low likely that they will do all this and bother to get to do all of this and then not getting approved. So we are technical people. Let's start looking into the order book. Let's start seeing what really is going on under the hood, because this could be manipulative as well. People might put sell orders very high to get you to think that the price is going to go there, but we need to see how is this playing out. By the way, keep an eye on the open interest. Open interest this high, you can see how high we are. It's huge, it's massive. And that level of open interest means that this is a ticking bomb for volatility. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to enter here with a long and I'm going to put a stop loss here, think twice. With that level of open interest, this thing, before shooting up or before shooting down, can go the opposite, just to take out all this open interest. This open interest needs to be out of the way before a move in a direction goes. It won't just go up in the open interest, it will continue going up. That is kind of defies the physics of the price, right? It needs to clear out that and just let a few win. Not everybody can win, in other words. So let's look at the levels. The first sneaky order that we have here on Ethereum, and by the way, this is Binance USDTM, is this order at 5,000 that just opened at 4 a.m. Now it's midday in UK time. So it's been just roughly since 8 hours. And we have an order here, even larger, at 4,000. So some people think it might get to 4,000, and that's a great time to short. Some other people at 5,000. These orders at 4.2 got pulled out, and they seem to have moved straight lower. So maybe they're thinking that the expectation is lower. But at the same time, so some orders right next to the price are being pulled out just because they see the price coming to this level of 3,900, and they're thinking, okay, maybe it's not a great idea to short. Support is at 3650 with 4K. Relative to this, that is 5.6. So that's also interesting. Some mild levels there. Let's start reducing this to start seeing what is more significant. And the winner for significant is the 4,000 and the 5,000. Below the price, the order book is a little bit more thin, and the lower significant level is at 2,600, very far away. It's been there for a long time, and it was more packed with levels, but many levels left, and that's just the leftover at 2,600. So I will say, if there is a denial, I'm going to update you on Twitter how this evolves, because this by the hour changes. And if I start seeing anything yellow here below the price and we get a rejection, that could mean that they want to just catch that lower low. By the way, if there's a denial or a delay or something, maybe BlackRock might fight against. So that could still push the price down and get an approval later. Don't assume that rejection is forever necessarily. And I'm telling you that because I'm a big holder of Ethereum. So even if they reject the approval, I'm still thinking to hold my Ethereum. I'm not just going to sell it, panic sell, um, unless I want to do some swing. But in that case, I will use leverage and other things. Okay, uh, that is what I have from the order book. I have more information about Ethereum, but now we're going to do an overall look of the market, what's going on with Bitcoin, 4-hour, daily, and then we're going to jump into the altcoins. So if you have any requests, just make sure that they are on the comments. And let's see what's going on here with the daily. We got this level of resistance right there at 7150. We talk about that. We say that we are looking for a pivot here to create a higher low, hopefully. We were talking about 67.5, but we got just to 68.8. We also talk about 68.5. That came from another time frame. I can't recall which one was it, but right now it seems like this could become the higher low at this point in time. You can see that the grid broke out from this inverse head and shoulders, is stuck there at 76. We are in extreme greed. And for the first time in a long time, I'm looking at the funding rate and I'm starting to see some yellow. You can see that when the alts are running hot and everybody's going extremely bullish, too bullish to be in the market sometimes, you see this orange. That was in February, March. Then we have a little bit here in April. And since then, since 1st of April, this thing has been cold as hell. And we are just seeing on Pepe some higher funding rates that are indicating that too many people are doing longs here. So many people are long in Pepe, some other people jumping on bongs. So the meme coins are starting to get into the yellow, but we are far away from being a full top of an altcoin season or anything like that. Let's continue with this level here that is from a CME gap. I think this got already filled at 69.4. We have very quickly a CME gap last night, and the market basically closed at 70K, and the actual spot went and took that level. So I think it's already filled. Let's go with the daily on Bitcoin. We broke out from the flag and we seem to be retesting that breakout. We are very close to come back into the range. We do not want to do that. So if we see something like this, it won't look really great. I will say that 67 that we were talking the other day, that comes from the point of control. I have it here, the 67, and the break from the golden pocket. It's our last resource, I will say, at least for the short term, because that will spoil completely this flag. Unless we wig and we immediately rebounds outside the flag, and then we close above this level, and then we could say, yeah, that was an appropriate retest and we are ready to shoot higher. I remind you from my previous videos that we have a conservative target just around here in this area, and we have an aggressive target of 92. Just make sure you watch 1 or 2 videos back in time to see the full detail of all the technicals on how we got those levels with confluence from 2 or 3 different indicators. Let's have a look at the momentum on the daily. So the momentum on the daily still looks healthy. We haven't yet come back here for a retest. We have retested the white line multiple times. So I guess at some point we're going to touch the red one. But so far, this is still looking quite exponential at the moment. It's not really coming to even retest the line here. So that is looking like there's a lot of anticipation for good news. But eventually, if there's some shake off, hopefully we hold the red line. If we go below the red line, of course, on Twitter, you'll be the first one to know. And on the 4-hour, the price did precisely what we said. So we were around here and we say we need to get into this bubble. That's what we did. And we built 1, 2 touches, 3 touches. And currently the 4-hour is kind of breaking out from here, not to mention that there is a fake out to the downside. So this closed slightly lower than that touch. But now we are having this. So possibly we're gonna meet our target. I remind you, yesterday I say I don't expect to get to 80. I expect to get somewhere here, a bit lower than the previous high on the RSI 4-hour. That's just because I think with these breaks here, we are starting to lose momentum. So I will expect this to start inclining the head lower. This is just the 4-hour. And by the way, on the 4-hour, we have this bullish flag here. It's kind of holding those levels. And now we are on the way to test resistance once again, possibly at around 70K. So breaking above 70K will break this flag that will be bullish. Hopefully that is a breakout. And in terms of CPR, if we do that, I think it's too much to say we can get straight to 77. But from the point of view of CPR, that's the next level of resistance. It's pretty far, but believe it or not, the model says that that is next if we hold the current level of CPR resistance, which is this green at 69.1, which we're currently confirming to hold. So twice we have tried to break below and we haven't crossed below. So that's good. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum right now is breaking. So BTC hasn't done this breakout. Ethereum is doing it. So it's 38.70. And you let me know in the comments if you hear anything on Twitter that there's an approval of something, because that will be awesome if we can cover it live. At the moment, we're doing higher highs. We broke from this flag. The Ethereum BTC, it's also breaking out, and the Ethereum BTC is already getting to the next CPR level. Look, BTC is lagging. That's impressive. We've been all these months with BTC doing more, Ethereum doing less. And it's kind of flipping things, like BTC barely breaking and holding the first CPR, and Ethereum on their way, halfway through, to 4,076. That's the next level of CPR. And Ethereum BTC is clearly a winner. You see it's almost reaching already the next CPR. The last CPR for the month of May is located at 58.95. That is the total range expected from CPR. Do not expect that magically the price gets here and it gets rejected. Sometimes when things are too bullish, if you get an approval and things go too bullish, I'm not necessarily convinced that that's going to be the case, even with the approval, you can see that the price can go beyond the range of CPR. It almost never happens. Like, let's go back in time. When does it happen? Very rarely. In fact, I cannot find a single one. Here at the top of the market, you are above the last CPR level. So can it happen? Yes. How often? You tell me. Look at this. Almost never. So the range of CPR is pretty good. And let's look at total 3. I think total 3 is now behind everything. So if you put in order, Ethereum is performing better because of the news, the positive news. Some people might be flipping their Bitcoin into Ethereum. That could be one extra reason to think why it's pumping more than Bitcoin. And total 3 is behind even Bitcoin. It hasn't even reached the first CPR for the month. So if we did that, we should be at 745 billion on total 3, but we barely are halfway through to that. Whereas ETH BTC is already here. It's just crazy. Very interesting. S&P doing higher highs, and DX. Yesterday we saw Nvidia as well with the earnings, did this massive pump. You can see that is above the second CPR for the month. So this is clearly leading what we are seeing. Hopefully, the SEC is not going to come up later saying no Ethereum ETF, because that is going to mean that the Nasdaq is going to rally. with thanks to Nvidia, but then crypto is going to suffer a massive crash just because of the rejection. Let's see what's important now. What's next? I'm going to skip the weekly. There's no extra news relative to yesterday. And we can look at this. So, what are the long term holders doing today? Very interesting. Up until the news of Ethereum, right before the news of Ethereum, long term holders were starting to accumulate Bitcoin. With the news of Ethereum, they started going lower. What's going on? The price is now going high. Are they thinking that Bitcoin is just going to take another breather and we're going to get another leg low? Or are they flipping into Ethereum? So just by seeing the price action of Ethereum and seeing the ETH BTC pair pushing to the second level of CPR monthly, it might be the case that some of these people are saying, we are too heavy in Bitcoin, and that could be the beginning of Ethereum, having a season for Ethereum. Let's flip some of this into Ethereum. I'm just speculating. There's no way I can tell. If you know how to tell me how. 72K, 71K is still the highest level of liquidity to the upside on Bitcoin. I'm going to show you very shortly the levels for Ethereum. 71, 72, as I mentioned, those levels are still there. And in here is very well balanced and distributed all the levels to the downside. There's nothing really significant. We were looking at 64, but then everything is pretty much at the same level. So it's difficult to say what level could stop a bleed if we have a week to the downside. We're going to have to use something else. And on Ethereum, you see the opposite. Bitcoin has some shorts here, big shorts, and well-distributed lower levels to the downside. Don't get me wrong, there's more liquidity to the downside than to the upside in the last 30 days. We're going to look more than 30 days just in a second. But Ethereum is the opposite. Ethereum has loads of higher levels in here, and that is caused because there are so many longs. The open interest is going mental in Ethereum, whereas the shorts are here a little bit more humble. They are more scared to short Ethereum right now. So that is kind of a good indication of sentiment of the market. It's not necessarily a good indication for forecasting what the SEC is going to say. For that, there should be a leak into that from that information. Some insider should know what's going to be the outcome and then leak it. Maybe that insider already did, and everybody's in a long. But I doubt that so many longs are going to just get lucky without some cut of that open interest before we should higher. And here we are seeing the liquidity from Ethereum in the past 3 months. Is going to be upside down with Bitcoin. It's incredible. We have loads of liquidity on Ethereum at 2.8. So the price really needs to do a lower low to take it. You can see here, we were doing lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then shoot back up. In order to take this liquidity, we need to do a lower low. There's no other way. And on the upside, the liquidity to short, let's zoom in. Oh, this zoom in is very difficult to use. You can see that the short liquidity just came from these weeks here. Some people open short positions at 38.64 and they're hoping that there won't be a pump. They want to be lucky bastards. If the SEC says no, potentially they get lucky. There's no wick to the upside and they can hold that short for longer. But from here, there's not as much. Now, keep this image in mind and let's look at the BTC one. The BTC is upside down. So we have here loads of liquidity that spans for longer. You can clearly tell that this red was not open necessarily at this 71K. There was red before. And we also have a lower low liquidity below 56K. So the price will have to go from 71 to 56. That's a big, big, big move to the downside. So I'm tempted to say that this is too close to the price to just leave it on the table, in my opinion. And the delta is getting more shallow. In Bitcoin, we were at 600, now we are at barely 176K. So now we're gonna look into what's going on with the altcoins. I have a list of all the altcoins I want to review. The list is around here. Just pause the video if you want to see all the list. If you want me to review any coin that is not here, just please leave a comment, and I will have a look right before I finish this thing. Have a look at the copy trading bots. The link is in the description. And if you need a decent exchange, OKX is my favorite one, and I have a price pool of 60,000. You just need to use the link in the description and discounts in trading fees. If you have struggled to find an exchange that is KYC friendly, that you don't need KYC to do leverage, have a look at my link BingX. There's also discounts, and there's a price pool as well of $6,000. So let's look at the Ethereum BTC pair. It's incredible. I'm really proud of this pivot. You can probably tell in the past few days, I was calling for this to possibly be the pivot. And look at this green candle. I mean, I don't see larger green candle apart from what happened here. So I hope we get an approval, because this candle could become just this week in a big boy to the downside if we get a rejection. If we get an approval, I'll be extremely happy, almost as happy as when I sold 73K, to say this here when we were below was going to be the pivot. It will be beautiful to see this run. There is so many months looking at this, monitoring the momentum going higher and expecting with patience to build this channel to the upside. Even Benjamin Cohen was on Twitter saying I was wrong because he was saying we're going to go lower. I remind you that he was expecting that this was going to go lower, and he was saying, I'm surprised he says I'm wrong before the approval or rejection of the ETF. He already says I'm wrong. Interesting. And look at this. This is like a cup and handle. So this is ready to shoot up as long as we get the breakout with approval. Rejection breaks everything. Absolutely. And altcoin season still going sideways. If we get an approval, I will expect that right after Ethereum finds the next range, we're going to see an altcoin season. If Ethereum pumps during the pump, I wouldn't expect that the altcoins are going to outperform Ethereum. And just because if there's an approval, there should be lots of inflows. The only thing that can spoil the party in Ethereum is the outflows expected from Grayscale. I think they have like 9 billion or something like that, a huge amount of Ethereum that, since they charge higher fees, people are going to start withdrawing, and that transition from them to other ETFs could really shake the market. We saw what happened with Bitcoin. As soon as it got approved, started coming down, then it went higher, and then it started dragging, and there was always a battle between inflows and outflows. So people, assuming we get the approval, are expecting something similar. And you can see that we continue to build this M pattern here, double top on the Bitcoin dominance, break below the momentum on the RSI. If by Sunday we are still here, that will be a big sign that the altcoin season is getting closer and closer. If we get a rejection, I'm going to tell you something. That doesn't mean that the Bitcoin dominance is going to go lower. I think if we get a rejection, this candle, one weekly candle on the Bitcoin dominance, is going to come back up above support. Why? Because if there's a rejection, the people that are holding Ethereum and all the people that are holding altcoins are going to say, we are going to get wrecked. And half of them, not necessarily half, but part of them are going to sell into USDT, and the other part of them are going to sell into Bitcoin. That's how they find most safety in a bull run. Many people just sell into Bitcoin. And if they do that, that is going to revert this point of support of 54 and is going to do a higher high. And, and that can still happen while Bitcoin is also crashing. So everything can crash, but the dominance of Bitcoin can pump during that moment. And that will revert this whole thing. And then you're going to have to say, okay, let's be a little bit more patient with the altcoin season. And if that happens, any of these setups here are going to go absolutely to hell. They're going to revert most of the gains that we have seen from these calls that we did, I think, on Saturday. All these coins that I place in the strong that are, currently in progress of uh, giving some good profits, they might revert everything and even go below our entry price. So be very aware of that. Oh, by the way, Solana, this is, no, it's fine. Solana is fine. I was thinking that is breaking support. I'm getting a little bit nervous with Solana. R in here is losing the support. That is interesting. I was expecting R to hold support for our entry. Right now is in a small loss here. You can tell. BCH is break even. Maker is break even. I think everything is waiting for what's going to happen with Ethereum. So most of the gains are coming from Ethereum right now. Not even Bitcoin can surpass this big news. CAS is the best so far and still holding. Near kind of reverting those gains there. STX hasn't entered yet. Bara enter and now is below, and Solana is back at this support. It was about to close the full target, or the aggressive target. So I'm going to look into some coins that are looking stronger. This is coming from some coins I picked from here, biggest movers. And then I'm going to look into these requests I got yesterday from Twitter. So on Twitter, you can always find me and leave me some requests. On the next video, probably I'll add them here, whether it's recorded or live stream. I will try to make sure that I capture all the requests the day before. Otherwise, you just come to the live stream and we do it together. So Bonk is right now breaking this high, in the process of challenging this high. What am I saying? It hasn't broken yet, but it's pretty interesting how bullish it is right now. It found support in there. At some point, we were calling this bearish divergence, and that took the price back to support. Since it held, now it's doing higher highs. Tau is right now breaking out. It has done 2 days since this breakout in here. And we had this line for quite a long time. We were looking for a breakout, doing these lows there, and we were speculating. I left my drawings. Right now, we need to break out and retest. Well, you got the breakout. That was a good call. And AVAX broke out quite a long time ago in 5th of May. Then it did a low, which is around here, and it's doing higher highs. And on the price is on the process of testing our support at 39. That was after breaking above these two highs there and that high there. So hopefully it holds 39 so it can rally to 44. And Uni is also doing something interesting. It's breaking above this level. And I think I got this level from 2022, and it's finally breaking there. So we will have to see if it can rally to 10.6, and then next to 12.8. And TRX, I gave you this call yesterday on Twitter. I hope you were checking my Twitter. In here, I say TRX is risking a lot right here. So if Bitcoin doesn't pump, TRX is kind of a hedge because people move into USDT, and that kind of triggers the TRX network to become more bullish when Bitcoin is bearish. and the opposite. So they are kind of hedging each other. And right now, since Bitcoin got a little bit more bullish, uh, TRX broke from this bear flag into the downside, and now it's doing that. And people were asking me, why are you not bullish? Well, it's been bullish all the way here while Bitcoin was bearish. And as soon as we got this news of ETF, we started going lower. And Render, people are bullish on Render. I saw on Twitter many people talking about Render. But right now it's still being held at 11.7 and is building a bearish divergence. You can see here. So for Render, well, it depends what happens with the Ethereum ETF. That could bring a lot of volatility. But so far, this is looking like a double top in there. So potential target is 9.1 or 6.8. We'll see how much is that. If we go all the range to support on the momentum, that's 42. I'm curious, what is that in the price? 42, 42, 42. Let's see. So that will bring us to 8.9. If we come back all the way to that support there. So let's see if we can get that. That's coinciding with the 9 price, 8.9 of this level of resistance there. So maybe this bearish divergence plays out and it takes the price there. If things continue bullish in the market, that could be also a great opportunity to enter with a long. And CHR, I say we're going to see some turmoils here on that resistance. We have double resistance from trend line in that line. We had a double top on the other side. So right now it's coming back and kind of reverting all the profits from our trade. And EOS is breaking above resistance. So that is cool. I spot this one. So potentially, if things go well with the market, we could aim for 0.9. Where do we have next level? I will say after all these weeks there, it's not very clear, but at 0.97 could be another target, more aggressive. And I have this coin here. It's called Andy, and it's listed on MEX exchange. I'm not sure if it's listed anywhere else, but look how long it's been just bleeding. And then it struggled a lot to break above this area of resistance that was support before. And now it's coming back to retest there. So my question is, can this coin now make a big move? And I'm talking about big, 100 or 200%. Well, let's see. If we hold 478 right there, and you could put a stop loss maybe at 333. It's a big stop loss, but reward could be 100 or 200. That could be a good play. Be careful because it's getting into the area of overbought, but we don't know what is really the support. So I could speculate that support is at 46.2 on the other side. Let's see, 46.2. Well, actually needs to be an integer. 46. It won't help. That's negative. It's crazy. So wait until the prices are negative and then you can enter. That's great advice from your favorite YouTuber. And requests. Let's go with the request. First, the ones that you gave me on Twitter yesterday. We have this coin that I never heard about it. I don't know anything about fundamentals of this. It's called Orai Chain Token. And it's currently trying to meet with this trend line, hopefully to find support. So very close to this at probably around 14.6. There should be some support, and there's also support from the price. So you got this support there, price, resistance, and this guy coming here. So maybe the price will touch 13.7 and the RSI is going to be below. And if it immediately during the same days reverse and shoots back up, it's going to be interpreted as support held, and we could have another leg up. So that is another cool coin. Thanks for the suggestion. That is pretty cool. And the next request was Arkham. And again, I don't know anything about this coin, but we are seeing something slightly more bearish here, and not necessarily the end of the world. So after this move here, you have a breakout and a channel to the upside, and one touch and breakdown, and two touches of confirmation that it's going lower in terms of the momentum. So I will say I will put this line here, connecting these two lines, these two pivots, and I will wait until this guy breaks above that, okay, for continuation. If it stays anywhere here, I don't care. It can do a low here, it can go very bearish, but if I want a long, I will wait for a breakout from that. That's my local breakout. Uh, I don't think this connects. Does it connect? Uh, Maybe, possibly, but it's not very perfect. So I will just leave it like that. It doesn't change that much. All right, let's go with your request. What time is it? It's 12:45, so you have 15 minutes to do some different coins. Before I leave this one, Arkham is losing this level there. Yes, below resistance right now. So I will say could come crashing, and it's gonna have to find support somewhere here. So you have alternative one, 2.289, lost, and you have 2.05, and the last resource 1.7. That's pretty far, but I'm giving you all the options. And if it shoots back up to 848 is the next level of resistance. Let's go with Manta USDT. Let's use Binance. It seems to be breaking out. I'm gonna need this RSI. It seems to be breaking out. Let's see if it has overcome these tops. It seems to be breaking out from here. It's not my preferred way of breaking out. I prefer breakouts with this slope rather than this slope, which is the opposite. And is right now confronting resistance. 1796 is holding the breakout. Do we have any other significant level? It seems to be listed very recently. In terms of the trend line, many investors must be claiming, oh my God, that we have a breakout, a retest, and then pushing higher. So the golden entry was 1.6, and then at 1.8 you got resistance. So this could give you a late entry as long as you are still bullish on the coin. I don't know anything about this coin, but if you're very bullish on this, it could run to the next target of 2.1. And then we have here, let's find the better confluence. So we have liquidity grab, hold, 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 hold. That is my next level, 2662 and 2188 for this one, for this setup on Arkham. And do I have anything else? Yeah, the breakout there. That's it. Let's go with the next. Sound is okay. Bet and FET. I reviewed that in the previous video, Martin. I'm not sure if you're the same person that asked for those two. I think you probably are. Let me give you a quick update on FET. So FET broke out from this yesterday and now is in the process of retesting the breakout on the daily. Let's do this properly, like that, something like this. So it's in the process of testing the breakout, and the price is currently below the support. So hopefully this candle is going to shoot back up above 2.5. That will be bullish. We have a reversal ugly candle here on the daily. So this is a bit scary there, I have to admit. So that puts this setup a little bit in risk. This is a daily, and I don't like it. What can I say? Hopefully it holds this level there and it continues depending on the rest of the market. It's interesting that these are all AI tokens. Yesterday we had Nvidia reporting positive results, and still some of the AI tokens that were expected to pump with it haven't. Let's see what's going on with BChain. BChain, yep, had this breakout, and it seems to be on a healthy path of higher highs and higher lows in the momentum. And let's see where else should it be getting next. So you have 39.23 next level. I will say, yeah, possibly this one there is also resistance. 37.33 is also resistance, just because of so many candles. And well, 3 days ago we got again rejected from that. So we need to break above that to get to 39, and then you have 42.92. Looking good so far. If you want to know when you are in more trouble, I will put this line here, and every time this gets closer to this line, start considering uh, to decide whether to take profits, or if you are still convinced that it can carry on, you make your own decision. How much hours until they make a decision? Well, I was looking for the same. I couldn't find any official news on when they make the decision, unfortunately. Let's put the comments in here. Sounds okay. What's the next question? The next question is this one. Have you tried Trading View's new volume candles? I like them so far, but one has to be careful. They mess with RSI and other oscillators because they stretch the candles width. No, I haven't tried them. I received a notification that there were new candles. If they are like Hikinashi, be careful because they cause repainting, and many indicators are not prepared for those things. Sometimes indicators have like toggle boxes to be compatible with different candles, or also to tolerate different scales and stuff like that. I will say if the indicator doesn't mention any of that, I wouldn't necessarily trust what the indicator is doing. But I'll have a look another time. Thanks for the reminder. How much hours? We covered that one. Hi, Fernando. How are you? Um, please look at Gary USDT. Okay, let's have a look at Gary. Okay, let's see the price. Oh, wow. This is a crazy coin. Yeah, I've seen it before, the chart. It looks amazing for trading, actually. It's got so many spikes to the upside that if you manage to enter here with low levels of RSI, maybe on the 4 hour or something like that, you can build an amazing bot here. Not to mention, you could do some greed bot on this in a ranch. Look at that ranch. Yeah, every time I see this coin, I'm surprised. Anyways, um, what do I see? Number one, we have this here. I'm just going to use now the highs of the price because it seems to be indicating something. Let's have a look at this RSI, that there was a breakout here and then a consolidation with higher lows. And the price, what the price is doing in the same period, it's kind of building, low, high, low, high. That is quite bullish in my opinion. I mean, it's not an inverse head and shoulders, of course, but I like seeing these things. This could be a reversal. So I will monitor here, seeing some higher high at 24.57, and hopefully it can start shooting back up to this trend line. In terms of the momentum, we could say that we had one in layer one breakout, and we could put this as a layer two with the expectation that this breaks above that. And just because there's still room to break here and then start doing that could give massive gains. But I will be cautious with this remaining in this area. In this area is like in, inside the pattern still, so risk in this. I will wait for confirmation there. What else do I see? Let's see it on the upside down way. So if we put this like that, um, I wouldn't like to see this coming below here, because that will enter another layer of bearishness. If this comes there, hold support, look for breakout there. And that will give you a bullish narrative to re-enter if you are not yet in that coin, or for adding more, or who knows, whatever is your goal. Let's see the next question. Gary, I review it. Gary, trading bot price pool 5,000. I want to trade. What is that? This NGA doesn't dead his stream chat, bro. Okay, whatever you say. But it's not like SEC has to set hour for it. Yeah, no, they can even delay it. Yeah, anything can happen. Can you check Gary? I already did. Okay, let's read this next one. Do you think the Ethereum ETF will be approved today? I find something suspicious about it. How can the ETF be approved so easily? Yeah, I also think that is. I'm also quite dubious about what's going to happen with the ETF. And I mentioned before, the ETF could be a political play. And can they stretch it, maybe delay it, and keep the hope high, and just to, because this whole thing about crypto has become an arm wrestling between Biden and Trump. Like, who is now more pro crypto among the options? And Trump started this thing with the donations, and then you have Biden trying to catch up, and both of them have hated crypto for years. So this is definitely their play to attract new voters. Even Biden started now hiring a guy expert in memes, just to get the support from more voters. It's just manipulation from their end. But I wouldn't underestimate it either. So they can perfectly strangle the SEC and force them to do it together with the push from BlackRock. So maybe BlackRock is funding some candidate, who knows, on the premises that they approve the ETF. So that's why there is enough argument to be said that the approval might be just about to happen. But at the same time, I always think that anything can be manipulation, that they can just push the price of an asset from very oversold, like Ethereum was, to very overbought, and then just say, oh, by the way, we're going to reject it because we will never approve it. And then from 4,000, it can go to 2,000 and a half, and then they can just take a short, and from that they can fund the campaign. I'm always very paranoid with those things. So we'll see what is the right answer. There's no way I can read the future. Which tokens are the best for the ETH ecosystem? Well, that's a question about fundamentals. I mostly cover in this channel TA. I don't keep up with the fundamentals of what's going on with every single coin. And the reason is because fundamentals are great during the bull market to enter early and to hold. But think about this. Solana was at $20 at some point in the bear market. Now it's reaching almost $200. So fundamentals can take Solana from 200 to 400 to 500, sure. But fundamentals for me were important when Solana was at 20 or at 30. And then I can hold confidently that that's a great entry. Right now, fundamentals might push it higher, but if the market sells tomorrow, Solana could go to $80. Who knows? So I rather looking at TA at this point in the market, but it's up to you. You can also look into fundamental soup. And let's have a look at ILV. That's a new coin to me. ILV USDT. Well, never seen it. Never, ever, ever, ever. You guys are amazing. Always making me discover new coins, and at the right time, by the way, because this is a great breakout. The breakout was on the 20th of May, 3 days ago. and it's doing higher highs, looking very positive. Always when you see a breakout, try to take a mental picture of what happened with the RSI. You know, try to observe the shape. You see, what is the shape? Don't look into the detail, right? But look at the shape. You see double bottom, higher high, sorry, higher low, and then retest, and from there higher lows, and then breakout. I love seeing that, because then your brain has AI. You see the image and you start getting more confident when you see images that are always similar. I wouldn't be surprised that AI could look at all breakouts with their outcome, and it could get really good with a neural network. So that would be amazing. Anyways, the price broke out with this coin. That's the breakout. So we'll see how high it could get. So here we have some combination of support and resistance. It's kind of the middle ground there. Resistance on the 25th of December as well. And you could target these levels here. Is kind of a mess, difficult to find, maybe because of this. Yeah, that is coming up. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. There you go. So you have 106, 121, 134, 149 targets, and that's the breakout. Don't ask me how high it can get. That depends on how bullish is the market, but take partial profits or make a plan with using those numbers. And you can place this line there to see how the breakout is coming up. Coming here and doing this will be awesome for a long ride towards higher targets. But as soon as you start seeing somewhere like this, start considering taking profits. Next question, ARV. I'm not sure if I review ARV today. Let me see. I review R, but not ARV. And that's another breakout that I think we covered before. I can tell because I have the drawings. So there was a breakout, painful retest, and then the breakout continue here. And it's on the way to 1.33. Hopefully can get there. Currently being held by this local resistance. So let's draw it. Hopefully the daily can close about 1.21 for continuation to 133. Rejection here could make this price come back to retest the 111. Hopefully not all the way back down to 103, so we can continue faster to higher levels. Can you give some leverage setup on ETH? Leverage setup. Let's see. It's not necessarily going to be a leverage one, but let's see what could be a setup. Oh, wow, 39.16. Let's go quickly and let's see the stats. What's going on in here? Nothing has changed. 72. Okay, so we started the morning with 65. Now we are reaching 72. And the highest we ever been in the past few days since this news has been 75. So I will say if we go above 75 at some point today, of course, Ethereum is going to be running like crazy at that point. But monitor this thing because it could flip anytime. And by the way, this capture all the votes. So I don't know how this system works. Be very careful with making your decisions on this because this is aggregated average of everybody. That's my speculation on how this works. And if it does work like that, it doesn't mean that if there's an ongoing rejection developing in the social network, this is going to flip to 11 immediately. Many people are going to get caught and they're going to remain in the wrong boat. I'm not sure if this system allows them to flip their buys to sell. Well, here it flipped very quickly, but this could have been new voters instead of old voters. Who knows? Maybe they need to withdraw their voting, put new ones. Point is, don't trade with this. This is just side information. Anything changing uh, in the order book? So we just made it to 39, and those orders at 40K are still there, and they have increased volume. So from 5.9 to 6, not very significant increase, but they really want to short 4K. And these guys here at 5K are still at 4.6. Nothing has changed, and the support has become thinner. No, it's the same, 4.6, 3.6, and the 2.6 is still at 3.8. Nothing has changed. I will say that there are no news. They're just speculating that it's going to run higher, so nothing to panic. In the trade on Ethereum, um, I mean, at this point, trading this is crazy. You're about to hit a high here, so you could potentially join the people at 4K, but you have to use a stop loss because it's very likely that in here you can get wrecked if this continues rallying. But if you want to join, you can join some of those levels, the 4K, or later if it pumps to 5K. But you need to be experienced. I cannot really give you a setup that I will be confident blindly that you can run. You have support here at 3.6. We already held it, but you don't have much more. So we were struggling at those levels just because there was resistance there. So maybe this comes from 39 back to test now 30, 38. It could do something. It went there, retested, and then went there, retested, and it could continue going higher. But really, there's not a clear one I can give you. And I don't trade the 15-minute. I know on the 15-minute we can find setups. We can use the RSI, but I won't give you those because I close the live stream and you're going to trade that and things are going to change. You're not going to react quickly. You're going to get wrecked and you're going to blame me. Your support on the daily is there. So you can see that we are far from support in here. So a good setup could be to hold here at 66 on the RSI daily and hope that there's another push higher. Pump, yeah. You think this is a pump? I don't know. Maybe some insiders. Ethereum to 5K now. You think so? Well, let's see. Let's continue seeing more questions. What time is the approval? I don't know. Pump. I have first level. Let's continue seeing how this price. I wonder how it's going to react when it reaches the 4K. Alex is saying, I have first level, take profit at 4,000 with stop loss break even at 36.40 on Ethereum. So that's Alex setup. And some people are saying 6K. And this candle is looking beautiful here. So take a time to observe it. And 72 is still 72. We still don't have a 75. And let's see how the order book is reacting here. We can go lower in time frame to see more dynamics. So these levels are gone. Some liquidations going on. 4K. Yeah. Very interesting. So if I reduce this, if I increase it, we're going to see the dynamics better. And what I'm seeing is that the 4K is becoming stronger. So from 5.7, now it's 7K sell at 4K. So more and more people are hoping that 4K is going to hold the price. They want to short it. Some new orders coming up below 4K at 39.92. That they want to front run it, and they took it out. By the way, we are above the VWAP, so of course that's an uptrend, and the support is at 36.21. I think that was the support that Alex is using. Let me show the comment there. Yeah. The ETF, ETH moons, my base tokens will do hopefully. I am long on Ethereum since I bought them at 70. That's a long time ago. To be fair, TS Class is saying, to be fair, Ethereum needs to be approved from a builder's perspective. Layer 2 are going to blow up in regards people building on there. Yeah, and by the way, guys, the Ethereum approval, potential approval, is not just an Ethereum approval. I agree with what I've been reading. It's actually an approval of the whole industry. So if that was approved, where can I see if the ETF is approved? Guys, if any one of you has seen any official website with a potential approval, if you can share it so we can monitor it live in the live stream. I suspect that we are not going to be all day in a live stream waiting until it gets approved. It will be awesome to capture it live and to see how the price reacts. Oh, wow. What the hell? Did you see this? Are you watching? Are you watching? 6K left, just left. Are you seeing this? Let's see. Let's see. Uh, it will be so awesome. Oh, no. They move it. They move it to 39.40. These bastards. They want to short lower, and they're shorting. Yeah. What's going on? What are they doing? I was claiming victory. It's so annoying. They move the orders lower. They move 6K orders all together. Please, I repeat, if you know any website where there's official news, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to Twitter and I'm going to check Grok. Any official news about the ETH ETF approval? And what do we have? Well, it seems crypto blah, 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 blah. No, these are all news. I need to ask for what about the last hour? Guys, I'm using AI. Grok is the AI tool for Twitter. If you're not familiar, you can ask anything. I'm all the time asking about things I posted. I ask about who was that guy that replied the other day about this. It finds everything, and it can give you summaries of things are currently going on, which is extremely cool. It seems that crypto world is still holding its collective breath, waiting for the SEC to make a decision on the spot Ethereum ETF. As of my last update, there hasn't been any new information in the last hour or so. The suspense is killing me. Well, this is a summary coming from different tweets, as you can see here. So far, there doesn't seem to be anything official. The decision is expected to be announced around 1:30 IST. What is this? So that's my evening. I don't know what time is for you but that means we need to wait a long time. It's only 1 p.m., so until 9 p.m. Oof, that is like 10 hours from now or so. No, there's no news yet. And these shorters are keeping the price there, and we have an indecision candle on the 15 minutes. Not very relevant. It's just a 15-minute time frame, and we'll see. It's a shame we cannot put a gift here. It is the very day TradeFi accept DeFi. If they approve the Ethereum ETF, that means a lot for the industry. It means that they could approve anything. People are starting already to speculate that they might approve a Solana one. It's saying May 26 in 3 days. Albert, can you share the Grok say? Do you mean Grok in my own? When is the ETH ETF expected to get an outcome? Let's ask for this. Yeah, 9. But 26. 26. We are 23rd. Sure, I didn't see that. Yeah, perfect. I was assuming it's today. So you might want to set your alarm if you're planning to stay. Yeah, I mean, people are speculating. I don't know, maybe some of them might have access to privileged information. Yeah, you're right, Albert. And this could carry on forever. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. I don't see any more requests to review any new altcoins. This was a long stream. And if there's any news on the ETF official, I'll go live to cover it just to celebrate. So hopefully that happens today. If not, on the 26th at 9 p.m. London time, if this guy is not lying, and we'll see. All right. Take care. Thanks for